All right, folks, Jason Hetland here with the RodeoRoundup.com backstage prior to the start of Iron Cowboy 6 inside a beautiful AT&T Stadium. And one of still the fan favorites, whether you're at a bowl or not, you're still talked about, and you're seen on all the advertisements and calendars and everything else across town. Cord McCoy, thanks for spending some time with us here today.
Heck yeah, especially with the weather outside. Who wouldn't want to be at AT&T Stadium today? And all of that. Shoot, my favorite event, bull riding. So it's definitely an honor and a blessing to be here today.
Absolutely, and you as a retiree, and let's get away from the Iron Cowboy for a minute. But this May 30th pay-per-view they got coming up, Unfinished Business. It was announced last night, the last three, and I don't know. Everybody was talking about you and Adriano Marias, but you know what? The lineup that they have for that deal, you're not going to want to miss it on pay-per-view.
It's awesome, and all those guys have actually showed up at the Iron Cowboy today, just doing a press release, and it's pretty neat. For the other guys here today to walk in there and see Michael Gaffney and Justin McBride, J.W. Hart. I hate all the old guys, I guess, in there hanging out in the locker room, cracking back out. So it's, I think everybody's pretty excited about not just the fans, but the other riders, because there's younger riders in there that, never got to ride against them, and they've kind of get to live another dream. I remember the first time, that I actually rode against J.W. Hart and rode against Michael Gaffney and Jim Sharp, and those are kind of special days for me, and it's pretty neat to see that 35 more guys get to experience competing against those guys.
Absolutely, and it's great to see at all these events, and you're still really involved within the PBR. You do the behind the shoots tours at the PBR World Finals. You're a commentator and everything else, and your heart is still 100% in it, and that means a lot to the fans as well. And but the PBR has given you so much, and I think you just want to give back. Talk to a little bit about that.
Well, there's no doubt that bull riding and rodeo is my favorite sport. You said it yourself. I mean, it's in my blood and in my heart, and it's one of those things that I stopped riding bulls, but never stopped loving the sport. So it's pretty neat to be a stock contractor, be a commentator, to be able to produce a couple of events. I got a big event coming up in April, middle of April, called Western Days. It's a 4-day festival. So I am involved pretty much every day in one sense or another. The other thing different is I don't get on the bulls anymore, but I still feel it, and I think when they still do the national anthem, the hair still stands up at the back of my neck, and I still get excited about it. I still watch every bull like I was going to have to get on them next weekend, but just different aspects of rodeo.
And speaking of the bulls and the bull power and all that, last year we lost Bushwacker to retirement. After tonight, we're going to lose Asteroid to retirement. But there are so many up-and-coming bucking bulls that they'll never take the place of the legendary bulls that have been here. But Mickey Mouse, for one, and Stone So, all those guys, they're going to carry on the legend.
It's like the riders. It's not like there's not another set of bulls coming up. But, you grow to love them. You watch Bushwacker for 5-6 years. Me and a couple of the other Cowboys in the locker room were laughing. Those bulls ever learn to sign autographs, they're going to put us out of business. But, I actually had the pleasure of getting on Bushwacker and Asteroid in the same weekend at the PBR World Finals in Vegas one time. So, I know the ability of those bulls and the power behind them. They're such athletes that, you can't help but watch them. You don't have to grow up in the country or be a cowboy to see those bulls and appreciate their athleticism.
You said it. Cowboys are going to come and go. Bulls are going to come and go. There's always going to be another one. But you as a stock contractor, you were pretty well up in the rankings last year at the ABBI and World Finals. And a couple of years ago, we actually stopped and talked at the Heroes and Legends deal, and you had a TV show, the ride with Cord McCoy, and we were on it for the interview, and that was pretty cool to see. But talk to us a little bit about that, about turning from the arena to the cameras following your each and every footstep, going place to place and talking about the sport of professional rodeo.
Well, it's neat. I learned real good on the Amazing Race that if every time you stumble, they're going to video it and put it on TV, and you just got to learn to laugh about it a little bit better. I think the bucking bulls and videoing those seem to make the transfer a lot easier for me, because I remember the last year that I was riding, I had a really good set of young bulls that were actually winning more money than I was, and I got to actually step back from being a professional bull rider and go right into the stock contractor aspect of it, and still get to go to all the same events. I was blessed with that opportunity. It's not like I had to step back and say, what am I going to do now? I got to still be with all my friends and around the folks I love, and the PBR and the sport. So I was blessed with a lot that I think a lot of people, when they get done riding bulls, kind of have to step back and say, what's next.
Absolutely, and I know that the older you get, retirement's looming, and you're going to come back and make your wife happy and come back to Iowa, aren't you?
Yeah, she tracks back to Iowa. We've never missed a Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Easter in Iowa yet. But the funny thing about that, I think I'm always going to be involved in the sport in one way or another, whether it's me or the bulls, or I'm sure my kids will ride and compete as well. The rodeo people and the way of life, there's so much family, I guess. They all kind of root for each other, and it's been me against the bull my whole life, but I respect the bulls, and the rest of the riders are my friends, so it builds a bond between all of us that's pretty hard to take away from any cowboy.
Absolutely, and I know you're busy, and we're getting ready for the start of Iron Cowboy, so thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Yeah, if you get time, go over on Carbon TV on the internet, and you can watch us live. Actually, watch Frank Newsome as well. He's coming on.
Frank, come on over, buddy. Frank, come on in, Frank. Hey.
It's my
all right.
favorite.
Oh, no.
My favorite Frank Newsome.
Oh,
How you doing?
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Hey, don't you like how that happened there?
Yeah, that was slick. Cord, he'll get you into that, boy.
Let's talk about we talked to your buddy Cody Webster, and that had to be just something special. There's been a history that's been talked about, but you're kind of shy when it comes to cameras and stuff like that, and I like how he got you in here. But talk to us a little bit about what that meant, fighting with the guy that you pretty much raised and taught how to fight bulls.
Yeah, I got to go sign autographs for Kawasaki, but man, I tell you, with Cody coming up like he has, and getting to see him develop and mature through the years, and it was just probably one of the most special moments in my career, getting to fight the finals with him and getting to work with him. I always knew he was going to be at that level, but I didn't know if I was going to get to be there with him, and for it all to fall together like that was pretty special.
Absolutely, and I know you're busy, you're going up, so thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hetland here, the RodeoRoundup.com, backstage live at the 2015 Iron Cowboy 6 with bull riding legend Cord McCoy and PBR bullfighter Frank Newsome.